I have a question. For the passing traffic.
A question?
Yes.
For passing traffic?
Yes.
But you can't ask it.
No.
Not unless it stops.
And it won't be passing traffic anymore.
No. You're right.
Besides,
What?
we're council workers.
I know.
And it's not our job to question the passing traffic.
That's right.
I'm learning.
We're counting cars.
I know.
It's not rocket science.
I know.
Next week we're stationed on an island.
I know. South Island.
How?
I read it. Background research.
That's not our job.
I know.
We're paid by the hour.
I know.
You've wasted your time.
I don't care. I have a question for the island.
Question?
Yes.
For an island?
Yes.
Like what?
What?
What question did you have for the island?
All questions.
You had several questions in?
Yes, I did.
Such as?
Well,
Yes.
why?
Why what?
Why so?
Why is what so?
You mean, why so what?
Yes.
Well, what?
What? Why so?
Why so?
So?
So art.
Art?
Artifice.
Artifice?
Artificial. Why so artificial?
But that's simple.
It is.
It is.
It is what?
Artificial.
How do you mean?
It's man-made.
Man-made.
Yes.
Why?
Why is it man-made?
Why did man make it?
For his own purposes.
To defend himself, to defend us, to defend our country against the enemy. The French, the Germans, the Russians, the communists, the Muslims, the Protestants, the Catholics, the Jews. The island exists to protect the universal soldier. We should blame him. Aim the blame at him and kill him with cruelty or kindness. Either way, he will die a natural death. He hopes it's artificial, because we know the end of anything means grief. So we've got to protect our life experience on our experience of life.
And death.
Well, yes. But was it really necessary to say?
It would seem odd not to talk about life without saying something about death.
Why is there never any light?
What?
Why does the island look like paradise when it was built in hell?
It's not real.
Exactly. It could be anything, but it has to be a tool of war.
Why?
Because that's what people do.
Artificial, a fake.
Counterfeit. Sartre speaks of the value of the fake in a world of corruption.
This land is not sacred.
It was.
No, it wasn't. It was made, dreamed up, imagined. As I said, this is not sacred.
I hear it day and night, the roar of the ocean, hell, guilt, solitude. I came here because they let me out of prison. They let me out of prison, and the way I've seen it, they dumped me in the middle of a planet from outer space. Wi-Fi, all the noise of the modern world screaming in my ear. Day and night. I can't bear it. I can't bear it. I'd rather be here than anywhere else, see? See, I tried life out there and I just heard a lot of talking, a lot of noise, and people doing this and that, and it was all so important to them. All the most important thing in the goddamn world. It didn't mean anything at all to me. That was one of the layers of hell. And I often looked back to prison during that time and thought, like fuck, how I'd love to be back there. See, people say this place must be hell for me. The loneliness, the solitude. But it's probably the greatest symbol of freedom I could ever hope for. And everywhere I went, everyone I met reminded me of all them others in jail. And the only meaning they ever had, the only thing they ever made me feel was fear. And we all hate fear. I hate the sounds of civilisation, the machinery, traffic, the constant murmur of conversation. Even if you never participate, you still can't avoid it. Sometimes I listen to the chorus of the birds in the morning. The world of this place at night is as alive as any city, but in a way that tells you nature brings itself to life and evolves no matter what. Then there's the constant lapping of the ocean to the shore, like the ticking of a clock, like the passing of time, like the sound of God's creation crumbling before me, and only me. It's like the sound of 1,000 personal conversations about lovers, about hurt feelings, about miscommunication, all full of meaning at the time, but now they're nothing. They are towed under by the rhythm of existence into an ocean of shared meaning, collective consciousness, or whatever you might like to call it. So maybe you might ask me, why am I here? Why do I choose to do this? Why? Why?
Did you hear that?
What?
Why? Why?
That.
Yes. What was it?
It sounded like a man.
That doesn't mean it was one.
Oh, it is one.
What is it then?
It's either a man or an imitation of a man.
A woman?
No,
What? Why not?
no particular reason. That's just not what I meant.
Well, you could have said that the woman is the opposite of a man.
Or an imitation.
Adam's rib.
But I didn't. I heard a sound.
Why? Why?
And you wondered what it might be?
Isn't it a man?
Or a beast?
Or a monster?
Or an illusion? You don't think it was your mother?
No,
Not at all?
not at all. It was something in the darkness.
The past?
The dark.
It's the same thing.
Hear the lapping of the ocean?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I hear it.
What?
The lapping of the ocean.
Why are you telling me?
Because you asked.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I wish I was on dry land.
You are.
But it doesn't feel like it.
Guilt is nothing. It's created in our mind.
Who said that? You didn't hear it.
A voice?
Yes.
And what did it say?
Guilt is nothing. It's created in our minds.
I think it's fiction.
Who?
Exactly. What?
Guilt is fear.
And this place is built on fear.
Who are you talking to?
This place is built on guilt too. White guilt. Fear of the unknown. This island is a mechanical crocodile submerged beneath the ocean. The whole thing is a weapon, consisting of all little weapons, but as one. An overall weapon of its own.
But why do we need a weapon or weapons of that magnitude?
Cast your mind back to 1850. And little old Port Phillip was barely a colony of its own.
Well, it was its own. Alone and...
Poor Tom's a cold.
What?
Sorry, wrong play.
But the madness is true. Port Phillip was a tiny little nobody, all alone and terrified in the world, having just been made. And they wasn't, never were, the head of the Chamber of Commerce.
No. No. We are nothing. We are nobody. We are tiny and at the whim of terror.
We can build a fort.
We can build a fortress.
We can stop the Russians.
We can stop the French.
Haven't seen any Russians. Have you? Any French? Any Russians? Any French? Can you direct me toward Afghanistan? Excuse me? Does anyone know what war we're in?
What war? Which war?
What war?
We're in.
Run! Run! Run!
What is it?
Is it war?
Run! Run!
Where?
Anywhere!
Away!
Why?
Because it's war!
And this is a military base?
This place exists in the darkest regions of the social imagination, the collective unconscious.
Hear that?
It's the sound of anxiety.
It's the sound of humanity.
Don't tell me I don't exist.
Don't worry, we won't.
You've said it before.
No, we haven't.
Who's we?
No, I haven't.
You didn't.
Neither did you.
What are you?
I am an island. But I'm not stable. I'm not sound. I'm not made of real earth, but manufactured by my oppressors.
Oppressors?
That's right. We are oppressed.
We?
Me and her and me. We is one and the same, two peas in a pod.
Who's a pea?
What's a pod?
The pod presses against the pea, and when one squeezes a finger and a thumb on the fresh greenery, made in God's image, it squeezes out like a blackhead.
How can something so sweet and fresh be compared to something so ugly and disgusting?
It's the nature of this place. Or any place. Don't you know?
It is my nature and yours to be ugly as well as beautiful. All at once. It is who we all are.
What will we do?
Nothing.
But there'll be wars.
Yes.
So what shall we do?
Nothing. Wait.
For what?
An invasion.
Why?
Because we must.
Must what?
Trial.
Weapons?
Why?
Because it's war.
What's war?
It is.
What? Shit, what's up? What's wrong?
What year is it?
What difference does that make?
What does it matter?
It's 1885.
1885?
1885.
And we're sending the mines to you.
You mean you're sending us the mines?
No, the mines are coming your way.
Armaments!
Concrete cylinders.
Just like Fort Franklin.